Today we will discuss chapter number 3, values and data types. Okay, so what exactly we mean by character set? So character set is a set of textual and graphic symbols, each of which is mapped to a set of non-negative integers. So basically it's a set of characters. Okay, there are two codes basically we come across. One is ASCII code and another is Unicode. Now what is ASCII code? ASCII code is the American standard for code for information interchange. This was used. Uh, it was used in computing by which would only represent only American English. Okay, it contains uppercase and lowercase Latin alphabets, numerals, punctuation, a set of control codes, and a few miscellaneous symbols. Like if you take an example, capital A is represented as 65, and small a is represented as 97. Okay, the remaining are consecutive numbers representing that particular text or character. Then we have Unicode. Unicode defines a standardized universal character set that can be extended to accommodate addition. So it is a universal international standard character encoding that is capable of representing most of the world's written languages. Generally, it is used for supporting multiple languages because if we want a website where it is supporting multiple languages, like if you see a Google search engine, it is supporting multiple languages. So if you are developing an application where you want to support multiple languages, generally we use Unicode. So Java uses the Unicode character set to support multiple languages. Now, what are escape sequences? Let us understand that a character preceded by a backslash is the escape sequence and has a special meaning to the compiler. We'll understand that with the example. So slash n is nothing but a new line in the text at that point. Slash t is a tab character. Slash s is a backslash character. Slash double quotes is if you want to insert a double quote, and slash quotes is nothing but a single quote. Let's take one example for this. Okay, we'll create one class called escape sequence. Example. Okay, here double click this. As usual, you create a class, give the same name. So let us understand that we are using all these escape sequences in a display actually, which is system.out.println. So we can display something on the screen. Let's say we are writing here, welcome to Java. Okay. And again, we may write here something like happy learning. Okay, now if I run this, what we will get as our output is like this. This is what is the output you get. Now let us understand the escape sequences one by one. The very first one is slash n. So slash n it is nothing taking you to the next line. Slash t for tab, slash backslash, and single quote and double quote. So let us understand that with example. So here, let's say if I'm writing here slash n. Okay. Already we are used println slash n, again will take you to the next line. So what I will do is here I will write after happy I will write slash n. So you can make out the difference. Okay. If I want to print some space, like here only one space is there, but if I want to print more space, so I can write here slash t. So slash t stands for whatever when you press the tab character. So let us see what is the output for this. So this is you will find that it is a tab space given over here, and this comes on the next line. Okay. The next is your backspace if you want to print something. Okay. So let's print. I want to print double quotes only. So here I can just simply write over here hello. Okay. Now if I want to print this, we have not put the slash, you have to put the slash over there. Okay, so that it escapes. So this is the double quotes will explicitly get displayed. Same way we can do it for single quote. You have to simply write your single quote. Okay. Just compile this, run this. So this is what is single quote will get displayed over here. Same way we can do it for backslash. If you want a backslash to be printed, you can simply write over here backslash. Okay, so compile this and you can run this. This is what is your backslash which gets printed. So I guess everyone is clear with this escape sequence. Okay, let us go ahead now. So these are your escape sequences. Next is your token. So what basically is your token? Token is the smallest individual unit. Okay, element which is the building block of a Java program. So there are 5 types of tokens. First one is keyword, second is identifier, literal, punctuators, and operators. So what is a keyword? Keyword is nothing but a predefined reserved word that has got a special meaning to the Java compile. So there is a list of keywords. Simple ones we already know is if, for, okay, and the data types. The next is identifiers. Identifiers are user-defined names of variables, methods, classes, and arrays. So when you write your program, okay, so here like we have given the name of a class. So this is also an identifier. This is what we mean by identifier. Okay, next is what are the rules? So rules are the identifier must begin with a letter, dollar sign, or underscore. Apart from first character, the identifier can have any combination of characters. Java identifiers in Java are case sensitive. Case sensitive means uppercase and lowercase is different. Okay, Java identifiers can be of any length, but generally we try to take short only because we are supposed to use it again and again. Identifier names cannot contain white space, so any identifier must not begin with a digit but can contain digits within. Most importantly, keywords can't be used as identifiers. Okay. The next token is literal. So literals are nothing but similar to smaller variables, but their values cannot be changed once a time. So they are constant variables with fixed values. Let us understand with example. So here you can say int roll number is equal to 10. Now here int, it means it's an integer number, and roll number is a literal over here. Sorry, it's an integer literal. Okay, the identifier is roll number. 10 is nothing but the literal. So here it's an integer literal. Float PER is equal to 23.90x. Now this is a fractional value. So this is going to be a float literal. Then grade in single quotes we have mentioned a single character. So this is going to be a character literal. In double quotes, if we are mentioning more characters, multiple characters, then it is going to be a string literal. Now here true or false. If you have given a variable or a true or false value, so in that case it is going to be a boolean literal. So these are the 5 types of literal. Integer means it is not going to have a decimal part. Floating point means it can have a fractional part. Character means a single character. String means it is going to be multiple characters, and boolean means it is going to have true or false value. Now what are operators? Operators are nothing but whatever we are using, plus, minus, multiplication. There are n number of operators. Okay, we are going to learn them in detail. So these are the 8 types of operators we are having: arithmetic, unary, assignment, relational, logical, ternary, bitwise, and shift. Special symbols. These are your special symbols or separators. They are used in the program, like brackets are there, parentheses, braces, comma, semicolon, asterisk. Now, if you see your program, here we are using the separators. Like here you have used the square brackets, then the round brackets, and the curly braces. Then we have used comma somewhere you are using comma, semicolon is used. These are nothing but your separators. Next is, so basically we'll see here in token we are having keywords, identifiers, literals, punctuators or separators, and operators. Then what are the data types in Java? There are two types of data types. Data types is nothing but the type of data we are storing into a variable. So there are two types. One is primitive and second is non-primitive. So primitive data types would have Boolean, character, byte, short, int. Okay. Non-primitive, you will have data types like class and array. So class we already know. There are 8 types of primitive data types. So Boolean, you can have a true or false value. Character, which is nothing but a single character. Byte means you can see here the range. So see if you say take an integer data type. So in integer data type, you will have byte, short, int, and long. These are going to be integral. Integral means you will not have a decimal part. So this size is mentioned over here: 8 bits, 16 bits, 32 bits, and 64 bits. The range you can see here. So if you have a number which is in this range, you can take the data type as byte. Okay, same like that. Then we have is the float and double. A float and double we are used for floating point. The size varies. So for float it is 32 bits and for double it is 64 bits. This is the range. Okay, so basically when we talk about the numeric data type, so byte, short, int, and long. Till here we are having an integer. We will not have a floating point. Whereas float and double they are having the floating point. Okay. According to the number which we want to store, we are going to select the data type. Next, Boolean we have already seen. Boolean will have only a true or false value. Okay. Then character, it's a Unicode character. You can store a single character. We can take the previous example. So here you can see character, it will take a single character where you will have a single quote. Whereas Boolean, it can take a true or false value. Generally, Boolean is used for storing either two values are there where you have either true or false. So you can see the chart over here. Under data type, you will have primitive and non-primitive. So under non-primitive, you would have string, which we have seen just now, and array and class. And under primitive, you have Boolean, which is nothing but true or false value. Under numeric, you will have integral. So under that, character, integer, byte, short, int, and long. And floating point, you have float and double. Character is nothing but char, one single character. So what are the default values? You can just have a look at it. Default values, that is if you don't provide any value. So these are the default values. For Boolean, it is false. For char, it is this value. Byte, it is 0. Short, int 0, long 0L, float 0.0F, double 0.0D. Now what are the operators? So we have arithmetic operators like plus, minus, multiplication, division. Relational, you will have comparison of operators. Okay, we'll have less than, greater than, logical and or. We have a separate chapter for this. We'll be covering that later. Variable, declaration of variable. How do I declare a variable? So I would write the data type over here and then the variable is here. Initialization, you can just give some value to the variable by writing, let's say I have declared a variable I which is an integer. I can write I is equal to 10. Okay. Now what is constant? Constant is a keyword final before the variable declaration makes it a constant. Like if you don't want that value of a variable should not change throughout the program, you have to simply write final over there. Let's take one small example for this. I'll take a easy example. Okay, it's already there. Now here, let's assume that I don't want to change the value of it. See, one way is I can change the value. I can simply write a is equal to 20. This is possible. Okay, so it will not give me an error. No error is there. But if I want to make this final, I have to write here final. Now once I make it final, now I will get an error because I can't change the value of that. That is the only meaning of this. Okay, so I guess you all have understood today's class. Second, last thing is type conversion. So process of converting one predefined type into another. There are two types, implicit and explicit. Now what do we mean by implicit? Implicit means automatically without the programmer's intervention, if the conversion happens by the compiler, then it is implicit. Whereas explicit means you as a developer, you may specifically mention here the data type. Like in round brackets, you would mention float. So it means if x is integer and y is a float, but after doing the calculation, it will get converted to float only. Okay, so that is decided by us. So in brackets, we would mention that before the expression. Whereas in implicit, the same example, if you don't write this, so automatically according to the data type which is in question, according to that, automatically it will take the data type. So that is what is implicit data type. Thank you everyone.